jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
First in the building, Carlos Rosado is on deck. WCS salute, hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. No negotiation needed. Period. What's good with everyone? Salute. One love. I am Cam Edwards is in the building on deck. WCS and everyone in the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. You already know what it is, man. Shout out to you. Omaha on deck. Thinker Stink is in the building, man. First of all, big shout out to start the week, man. It's Monday. You know what I'm saying? A brother amongst others who already know this. I try to, keep a consistent schedule. But, mom's is important. Family is important. So I gotta do some things sometime in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely try to drop in the AM when I can. You feel me? But big shout out to those who was on deck, man. Ready to rock and roll to kick this week off. The good part about this is the final week of October before we usher in November. For all you Scorpios out there, you know what I'm saying? We getting closer to the end of the year for whatever it means when it comes to combat sports. Yeah, we about to close down on it. About to head into the holiday season. Halloween is next week. I know a lot of you cats didn't celebrate Halloween. You know what I'm saying? Because some of you all are still in character because it's been ugly since July 29th. I get it. Big Blunts and Boxing the GOAT is on deck. Salute, man. What's good? I see you in the building. Mr. Pass on deck. Salute to you in the building. Peace WCS. That Shemaev one was interesting, quite close. And the kick by Makhachev come out of nowhere. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to talk about that. Boxing Fan Talk. What's good, fam? Salute to you. See you in the building. I'm going to leave that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to leave that alone, Mr. Pass, because obviously I always give people the benefit of the doubt jumping into a chat, right after the weekend, being that there might be some, lingering effects of hangovers, recreational drugs, you know what I'm saying? Just alcoholic residue. The brain may not be totally cleared up. So, some questions that's asked, I look at it and I'll say to myself, there's no need to get riled up. They just come over here having some fun. They still feeling a little fuzzy from the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Let them crack some jokes, let them get in the festivities of the holiday spirit. I want to first start off, man, talking about what a lot of people are complaining about is that Khamzat Chimaev, who was in the process of moving up from 170 to 185, to potentially challenge the new champion, Sean Strickland, who just defeated Israel Adesanya. He actually is, the fighter that had everything in his corner. He took a catch weight fight in between 170 to 185 because, just to be clear, for those of you that may not understand how the weight classes work, welterweight in mixed martial arts is 170 pounds, which in boxing, that computes over to close to light heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? So Hamzat, contended sometimes. He had a tough fight with Gilbert Burns over there and was really exposed on some things because this is a guy who they were saying that looked unstoppable. He looked like a machine in there. But when he started to level up his competition, he didn't look so hot. And he had a fight with Kevin Holland, and then he stepped in there and fought Kamaru Usman. So the wild part about this is that, it's a lot that we don't know behind the scenes on opponents that's supposed to step in there and ones that didn't. I think the opponent that didn't step in there at the time probably was a blessing in disguise. I don't know. It's hard to figure it out. But Kamaru Usman wasn't the first call up. Kamaru Usman is the guy that you see to the right, the Nigerian Nightmare, former, 6-time. Well, he is a 6-time middleweight champion. He ain't former, 6-time welterweight world champion, right? He won his belt from Tyron Woodley and defended it 5 times, right? So with that said, he was the second replacement to step in and face Hamzat Chimaev in the co-main event. And I was looking for Hamzat, being he's the bigger guy, and he's respected for his clinch game, takedowns, just being a strong, enforcer in that cage, right? He didn't look too good. And for Kamaru Usman to be the one that's a smaller guy stepping in there, being he do have champion pedigree, he was off a 2-fight losing skid. Those 2 fights came off Leon Edwards. You know what I'm saying? The guy who dethroned him. You know what I'm saying? First one was a head kick, and then the second was a decision. So, he came in there and put on a very good display to step in 185 pounds, which is middleweight. So this fight was contended middleweight, and both, anybody you asked was they weren't totally shocked that Kamaru put on the performance that he did, but he thought they was thinking Chimaev would, get Usman up out of there. Why? Because Usman, had been knocked out by Leon Edwards. It looked like he was on the slide, but Usman, gave a good account of himself. I have to salute him for that. His boxing showed up. He has shown that he has improved over his boxing, along with his cardio, kicks, and everything. And I thought Usman was the better fighter in there this past when they fought last weekend. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was the better fighter. But they gave the majority decision to Chimaev. And then Chimaev goes off on a political rant and stuff like that. But anyway, the guy that was supposed to step in there before Usman was Jared Cannonier. Cannonier, he used to be this guy that weighed so much. He was up there at heavyweight, a light heavyweight and shit like that. And he has since worked his way down. But the UFC gave him a call on short notice. And he told them, hey, let me talk with my team and everything, because I guess he was in there practicing. Not practicing. What I'm talking about. He was in the gym, okay? He was in that gym getting some sparring and stuff like that. And an hour after, the UFC called him and asked him, did he want to take the fight with Hamzat Chimaev because of, last minute replacements and people falling out. And he tears his MCL. So, this man injures himself from a fight that would have got him a title shot at Sean Strickland. You know what I'm saying? It would have got him a title shot at Sean Strickland. And he goes in there and blows out his MCL. So they call out Kamaru Usman, and history plays it out, itself. He goes in there, and Kamaru Usman, goes the distance And people are now looking at Hamza Shemaev like, you know, you kind of overrated. People are coming down on like he overrated. We was expecting more from you, and this, that, and the other. And when you put that title on your head, like you unstoppable, and you have these people backing you, people have higher expectations. So a lot of people are just kind of upset about the way Shemaev looked. He was coming off a freaking first round submission over Kevin Holland via Darce choke, I believe. And then he goes in here and go the distance with Kamaru Usman, and a lackluster performance to some people. I like the fight. I thought the fight was okay. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say it was lackluster. I wouldn't say this shit was lackluster. But moving on though. The main event was Alexander Volkanovski, right? He stepped in the last minute to challenge Islam Makhachev. And see, this is one of those another deal where Makhachev was able to get his shot at the title due to Charles Oliveira losing his belts on the scales and stuff like that, right? And things happen. These MMA fighters don't get 8 weeks of camp for fights. They just don't. It's not like boxing, how I need this, I need that. These MMA fighters, they're in the gym just like these boxers, but they don't get 8 weeks for a training camp. They're in steady rotation. It's very quick, haste, and expeditious. And you get the call up, you get the call up. This just how that thing works. I guess the mindset is different over there because they deal with the 8 limbs of combat sports, whereas boxing, they deal with 2. You know what I'm saying? So Makhachev opponent pulls out Charles Oliveira, and Alexander Volkanovski comes in and get knocked out, right? And people were saying, like, how can you put up such a good fight in the first fight and then get knocked out? Well, there's many variables. The variables are when you get called up on short notice. Now, the crazy part that Volkanovski was actually in training at the time, and he talks about how he was full of anxiety a bit because he wanted to fight. He just, how fighters get like, I want to fight. But it's October, right? And he has a fight in his division where he's champion, 145-pound division. He has a fight in January. He has a fight lined up for January, but yet he takes the fight with Makhachev in October, at the end of October, no, in January. So you heard what I just said. Like these mixed martial artists don't really, worry about these 8-week camps, right? But I guess he wasn't expecting to go in there and get head kicked, knocked out either. That plays a bit more significant role when you're talking about the seriousness of the stoppage. He got knocked out. That's the crazy part about boxing. You have gloves on. The referee can step in there sometime, or fighters get knocked out face first plant, and it's over. But in mixed martial arts, you get hit with a knee, you get hit with a shin. The ref ain't saving you from hitting the ground. It's much different. Spinning elbow, spinning back fist, spinning heel kick, whatever. Spinning techniques, the front side striking, it don't matter. You can get knocked out right there on the spot. There's no referee that's going to save you from hitting that ground like that. Where in boxing, a fighter might stumble around and have wobbly legs, and then the referee can say, okay, I see the nuts. He's stepping in. So for Volkanovski, in my opinion, man, he saw an opportunity because, he said he was quite antsy, impatient in between fights. And he his head was, this is combat sports. His head had, a lot of thoughts going through his head. He wanted to get back out there. So he went out here and fought a beast like Islam. And he was knocked out with a head kick. And the anxiety that he had before heading into this cage, you can only imagine, like, if he had a whole lot of psychological shit going on where, it was racing, and that was before the fight. He goes in there. Imagine what happened after he gets knocked out and it's plastered all over everywhere. What he's going to and payload, his psychological payload heading into January 2024. And that's to defend his title, bro. What I'm saying? I think Volkanovski would be okay to defend his title at the 145-pound division, but he definitely shouldn't revisit 155 anytime soon. And I know the UFC is not going to allow that to happen for a trilogy anytime soon. Because I look at it like this. Islam said that, Volkanovski just came here for a check. And he might have been right. He might have been right. Volkanovski came for a check. I mean, you in the profession to get paid, right? So he came up there for a check. He got the check, but also with that check, he got the stamp that he wasn't looking for. And that was a freaking left high kick to the head and stopped him. So that shit is, what I'm saying? This game is a dirty game at the end of the day when it comes to combat sports. I mean, sometimes you can take a fight on short notice and you're pretty confident in what conditioning you've been able to get up to a certain point in the gym, and you feel good going in there. You take your experience, you take your conditioning, you take your IQ, and you go dance. You know what I'm saying? But not everybody can do that. Not everybody can do that. Real talk. For Halloween, the aerosexuals can go as a real person since they in character for 364 days out of the year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real, right? For real. They can go in character. They don't have to dress up. For real. Outlaw pugilist, what's good with it, brother? Salute to you. Got to give Volkanovski respect. He took the fight in 10 days notice. Yeah, for sure. I give Volkanovski respect. He's one of my favorite fighters in the UFC, man. Dude got skills, with his hands. He has good boxing. His timing, very smart, meticulous striker. He's well-rounded. Absolutely, he's well-rounded. Just because he was knocked out at a higher weight class, hey, it looks bad in that day. And I mean, on that day, in that moment, it looked bad. You know what I'm saying? It did. At a higher weight class, it looked bad on that day, in that moment. That the first fight was much more competitive, but yet you come in on 10 days notice, knowing damn well you're not ready for a guy like Islam. You're just not ready. It don't matter if you're a champion in another weight class. You wasn't ready. You wasn't properly prepared for that fight because you're preparing for a totally different fighter. You got a title. You have a title defense in January. You're preparing for somebody else. So the risk was the risk worth the reward? I don't know. I got to find out what his numbers look like on that check. You know what I'm saying? I got to find out what his numbers look like, because now he has to wait for the suspension to come down on how long he's going to be suspended for that knockout. That's the wild part about mixed martial arts. You really can't stop some of the knockouts that's going to happen. So since it can't be stopped still, the suspension is going to come down because you got knocked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy Trick Noty in the building. Salute WCS fresh off that birthday yesterday. But I thought Hamzat of Invincibility was gone when he had problems with Gilbert Burns. His boxing to me is a tad overrated. I agree with the Hamzat, boxing being overrated and the invincibility being exposed. I agree with you on that, Trick. That's where a lot of people start looking at Hamzat a little bit funny, because Gilbert was able to hurt him. And you're talking about Gilbert. If you look at his arm reach, Gilbert Burns' arm reach is very short, man. And we're talking about a guy who's down there working with Derek Santos, if they still working, the boxing coach down in Florida. Shout out to Derek Santos. Gilbert was working with him to improve his boxing because his BJJ game is world class. He's a world class, world champion. So when you take BJJ specialists like that and bring over the mixed martial arts, they start basically trying to improve their expertise in another area they're striking, which is their boxing, which is their freaking, hand and feet. You know what I'm saying? They already know what to do with submission side, but now they want to work on their boxing. And so when it came for Gilbert Burns and Chimaev, and that fight was at 170, It was very competitive, but it showed that Shamaya's boxing still has growth. He still has that's one of his development areas to improve his striking, and he needs to work more on that. Even with Kamaru Usman was landing some solid straight shots on Chimaev, and one of Kamaru's post fight griefs about himself was that he needed to start trusting himself more. I don't know what those two losses from Leon Edwards did to Kamaru, but I know during his reign as welterweight world champion, he was doing some amazing shit. I was like, damn, the way he knocked out Jorge Masvidal, you know what I'm saying? The way he beat up Kobe Covington, you know, the way he stopped his former stablemate, Gilbert Burns. He was just looking unstoppable. I ain't gonna lie. He's looking unstoppable. And he had the rematches in there. He had Kobe Covington twice, Jorge Masvidal twice. I mean, hey, that's what it's all about when you're defending your title. You fight the top guys. But as far as Chimaev, he has time to improve. He's gonna have to, styles make matchups. And being he's at 185 and he got the win, and he looked the way he did against Usman, doesn't mean he's gonna look bad against Sean Strickland. It doesn't look bad. He could potentially go in there and destroy Sean Strickland. Styles make fights, bro. Just because Kamaru Usman has the wrestling pedigree and the striking ability, that doesn't mean just since Chimaev looked bad against Usman, he's gonna look bad against a fighter that doesn't have the pedigree of the caliber wrestling skills and striking that Sean Strickland doesn't possess. Sean Strickland doesn't possess that Usman has. He doesn't. So Chimaev may potentially become middleweight world champion, and if he gets a shot at Sean Strickland next year, and it may look fairly easy. I'm just putting it out there. It may look, just because of the shit that was going on with Israel Adesanya, two different styles. Adesanya's style is not Usman's style. Okay. Adesanya has some other stuff going on, and, to whatever that may encompass. But at the end of the day, I look at Chimaev, he still has improvement, but I don't think he's going to look like this whenever he steps in there against Sean Strickland, if Sean Strickland's still a champion. And that was for the title shot, let's see how that plays out. That's all I can say. But shout out, happy birthday, man. The Trick Noti, you know what I'm saying? AKA the Oracle. Big shout out to your brother. And I meant to upload the video, but I was having problems downloading it. Let me see, I wanted to upload the video, y'all. Let me see, I wanted to download the video, actually. Let me just play it since Trick is on deck, man. Trick, the Oracle and shit. Imagine this right here. How many of y'all can say y'all had this? You know what I'm saying? This is Deontay Wilder.
Yo, Trick, what's up, baby? Hey, it's your boy Deontay, man. It's crazy because, which is not crazy, but, the way the universe works is that my birthday is today, and your birthday is today as well. So, from one black man to another, I want to wish you a happy birthday, brother. Man, it's a beautiful gift, the gift of life. And I think a lot of people, overlook it. The smaller things of being alive, just stepping out of your bed, put your feet on solid ground, you know what I mean? And just be like, I'm alive. I mean, do you know how many people made plans for today and didn't make it? Man, and just those simple things, the simplicity is key.
Then use the right lane to take the exit towards San Diego.
But that simple thought right there is everything to think about life itself. Being able to reach another level in life and reach another number with this vessel carries, and that's the age that we are. It's a blessing, you know. And again, happy birthday, Trick. I appreciate you, brother. And shout out to the LDBC. Yeah, peace.
So that was the Bronze Bomber, man, heavyweight champ. 10 title defenses. You know what I'm saying? Giving Trick Nolte a big shout out on his birthday. Who can say they got that from the champ? You know what I'm saying? Who say they can got that? Who say they got that from the champ, man? Real talk. But shout out to Trick, man. Appreciate all the info, you know, plugging everybody in the boxing scene. And that's some good shit right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate your support. You feel me? Hope all is well. Hope you enjoyed everything on your birthday. You know what I'm saying? You're a day older in life. But still, that don't mean you stop learning. Trick Nolte, Hanzar has excellent wrestling, but his ground and pound sucks. That's I wouldn't say it sucks, man. I wouldn't say it sucks. It's almost like you say Trick Hanzar has excellent wrestling, but his ground and pound sucks. I wouldn't say it sucks. You know what I'm saying? Ground and pound is the windows that's presented. You know, just like they say, position before submission. And ground and pound, yeah, you don't have to have position for ground and pound, but it's much more effective if you do have it. But you can't really sit up there and say, okay, I need to wait for the right time to land some shots. I mean, everybody's top pressure is different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's top pressures is different. Some people do ground and pound. Like Yoel Romero, he had excellent wrestling, world-class wrestling, right? But every time he got his opponent down, all he did was try to punch him. And he never really worked his BJJ game, if he even had any, to basically subdue his opponent from the bottom position, because he was a top-heavy wrestler, man. But it was the weirdest shit ever. But you know, with Hamzat, man, if his thing is to take you down and land punches, some of those punches that people look at on TV, 4-ounce glove, I don't think they understand that them joints get through. Just because you don't see the effect of somebody just spazzing out and shit, seizing up in that muff, doesn't mean the punches ain't hurting. You know, I mean, I wouldn't say his GMP sucks, bro. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that. Everybody's GMP is different. Some people are much more brutal. Some people know the correct position to be in to land those shots. You know what I'm saying? How to I don't know. People have their different angles on securing limbs to make it much more difficult for their opposition on the bottom to be able to strike back. It all depends, man. It all depends, man. Not everybody can do the Dakistan in handcuff. Was this a UFC pay-per-view event that was just on this past Saturday? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't this past weekend. It was last weekend. Burns versus Makhachev would be. I don't think so. I don't think so. Makhachev is at. I don't know, man. I would like to see Burns, you know, kind of get some more attention elsewhere before he stays in there with Makhachev. Let me retract a little bit, Pugilist. You know, I kind of agree with you on that. I kind of agree. I kind of agree if you're looking at as far as the grappling aspect of it. And then, you know, the striking, both of them has pretty decent striking. I kind of agree with you on that. That should be fire. Will it be fire is the question. It should be fire. Will it be fire? I don't know, man. You know, because both of them should have, you know, decent grappling, clinching, and it should come down to the striking. Yeah, it'll be very, very interesting. Real talk, it'll be interesting. Seriously, it'll be very interesting. Let's see if they even think about doing that in the near future. Shout out to my guy Tony Boswell on deck, man. What it do, Tony? Much respect at WCS in the chat. Stop there and show support. And hit the like button, working and listening. Appreciate you. Shout out to Tony B on deck, man. What's good? I officially want to be like Trick Nothing when I get older. I ain't never had no heavyweight champ wish me happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Trick is the oracle, man. You know, he be calling all these veteran boxers, man, that's been in the game, communicating behind the scenes, linking people up, you know, with that window from the past. And that's good shit, man. You really have somebody that's in that position to provide that lifeline out to these boxers who have since been forgotten, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? I mean, nobody's thinking about them. But you know, Trick is able to reach out and provide that line of communication to get them, you know, on these platforms up here and talk about certain things they may have going on in their life, talk about their career, their history, you know, just talk about some pastime that we wasn't privy to back then that these fighters were, because they was actually, you know, actively competing back then, professional boxers. So, you know, the sport has consistently changed throughout the years, and it's always good to listen to the ones who was back there doing it. And that's where Trick come in at. You know what I'm saying? Cooking with Surf Senior. What's good with it, Surf Senior? Salute to your brother on deck. No problem. You already know what it is, man. You already know what it is, brother. It was I want to talk about you know, the little in between the middle divisions that's popping off a little bit as we see it, right? I just want to touch on something right quick. I'm not going to take too long on this, all right? But I just want to touch on it right quick because I know he always has something slick to say about me. So I just want to basically make y'all aware of something, because it's up to me to, you know, keep y'all abreast of new and informing bullshit when it presents itself. This guy right here, you already know who he is, Julina. He was doing a video and he was trying to talk about Shakur and Devin numbers. And whenever you have somebody that's able to bring up inaccurate freaking screenshots to basically validate his point on why Shakur was out of line by not taking the 25% and all that, and he want to say, hey, look over here in this arena, like Shakur is not selling. See, this is a person who don't attend Shakur Stevenson's fights. I'm just gonna be honest. He really ain't, you know, dropping in and seeing Shakur Stevenson fights. He may have went to one or two of Devin Haney's fights, and that was when Devin was already undisputed. See, Shakur Stevenson, if you want to look at this particular screenshot to his right, you know, you got to look at Shakur Stevenson as a champion, 2 division champion, and then you got to see, okay, what was this from? You know what I'm saying? So you look at who he was fighting and when did you take this screenshot? And then you go over here and say, okay, when it came to Devin Haney, who was Devin Haney fighting? You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney and Progress is supposedly already sold out. That's what you're trying to tell me? Devin Haney and Progress is supposedly already empty like that. People are scrounging around for seats for Devin Haney and Regis Progress. Okay, I got it. So you saying that Shakur Stevenson, the one that people want to see step in there and fight a Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney, right? He didn't have a leg to stand on by turning down 25%. He didn't have a leg to stand on. That's what you're trying to tell the people. And this is nothing to come at him. I'm just saying it's public record. Like I always say, it's public record that you putting this information out there that's inaccurate. Because you can't say, well, look at Shakur Stevenson and you have all that in blue, like nobody's even interested in Shakur. There's a lot of people that's interested in, just like a lot of people is interested in Devin Haney. I understand he's a new skid mark, and you know you taking your place, and you want to be the one that's advocating heavy. Okay, I got it, man. To each his own. But at the end of the day, I want to talk to the boxing fans and say, y'all got to be smart about this shit. Be intelligent. God bless you to be above average human beings. When you're on this YTC shit, don't let it break you down to a point where you saying to yourself, I have to listen to this just because it's so-and-so. You know what I'm saying? I have to believe that it's right. You don't have to believe shit. Do your process of elimination. Do your own due diligence. Don't sit up here and think because some people put screenshots up and we're talking about color grade to prove to the people that this is the amount of tickets or this is the amount of interest or no interest that's being put into a certain fighter. And then I want to correlate that to a recent negotiation that took place as to say Shakur Stevenson should have took the 25% because due to the numbers that he wasn't able to sell previously, that was around about what his value was. Come on, bro. Come on. Hell no. That's not the case. Listen, the man's a two-weight world champion. That got to mean something. And my gripe and complaint about holding certain fighters accountable for shit they can't account for. That's my only gripe with Haney's, is that you're trying to hold Shakur Stevenson accountable for something he can't account for. You say what you had to do to get the belts, but everybody shouldn't get punished for what you had to do. That was your decision, bro. That was your decision to do what you did to get the belts. You took the low ball offer because DeBella and them came in super hard and you had to take it or leave it. That's period. That's you. So how many people has to suffer, at the lightweight division to say, hey, this, and this, you already done had Lomachenko. You couldn't make him suffer. He couldn't be the one next up and say, okay, you coming off the Aussie double. He's going to be the one to suffer. Why had to be Shakur Stevenson? And I'm not saying, I'm not getting to the money aspect as far as, hey, well, Shakur Stevenson didn't deserve that. You got to be real careful about deserving because he's a 3-time world champion. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you undisputed in a single division, but he's a 3-time world champion, 2 weight divisions. So if he didn't want 25%, I mean, come on now. What was another course of action he could take? Was another avenue that he could have took to increase that percentage? I don't know. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but all I know is be careful about videos is out there depicting false and fabricated information, that's being disingenuous, especially when it comes to numbers. Boxing has a checkered history when it comes to topical discussions on the YTC and the social media. When people put these screenshots and they try to calibrate it to prove a narrative, you know what I'm saying, to push a narrative out there, especially when it comes to proving which boxer has more value or higher value than the next. And that's what we're seeing with Shakur Stevenson. He's trying to prove that Shakur doesn't have the higher value than Devin Haney and declining to 25%. But yet, I talk about Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko. He was able to get a pay raise. When do you start negotiating for yourself? He was going in there for the undisputed titles, y'all. When do you start? If you're not confident to push the button and to start negotiating for yourself, who's going to do it for you? So and of course that all deals with the moment and the fighter. Every fighter and their resume ain't the same. We understand that. But Shakur is not coming in here empty-handed. He has a payload of accolades that he's carrying with him to the lightweight division. Don't matter if Yoshino was his first opponent. Still, he could have went in there and negotiated. And I just think that at the end of the day, it would have been good to see these two people fight. It would have been good to see Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson fight, and it's not being about money. But when you talk about all these color grades of tickets not being sold compared, man, get out of here. Get out with here with that shit. You think all those people are going to see Devin Haney and freaking Regis Progress over there in Devin's backyard, and he haven't even really been over there like that often? And Progress, who knows him over there? I mean, dude, come on, bro. Come on, man. I know how freaking altering and how to make shit look a certain way also. I do. I'm just putting it out there. Be smart about it, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Just imagine being under. And we also have to think about pads back then too. A lot of those dudes, even Kevin Randleman, That was Mark Coleman's guy. You know what I'm saying? But both of those dudes was top tier wrestlers. And Mark Coleman ground and pound was something crucial. Real talk. I mean, something crucial. You're talking about goddamn serious top heavy pressure shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shaw News and Sauce Experience, AK Showtime Sean Deck in the building. What's good with it? Team Tucker official on deck. Damn, that pic looks terrible. Buddy looks sick. I know, man. You know, I'm not all about making about who, what, when. You know, it's a holiday season. I'm not trying to bring a nigga in here, you know, close to Halloween like that. I'm gonna let him stay in character off my goddamn platform. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, Blunts. He looked like something out of Lord of the Rings. Hey, man, looks like Smeagol with the beard. You know, I just had to put it up there. You know, I'm like, the stuff just you know, seeing that bullshit up there, it just doesn't give me clarity as to he knows what he's talking about without being disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? It's just disingenuous that he would think that nobody's coming to see Shakur Stevenson, and that's not the case. That's not the case. Also, it depends on who the fighter is fighting. Who is your dance partner? Because Devin Haney nor Shakur Stevenson is just selling out arenas like that. You know what I'm saying? You definitely got to have a dance partner. You look at Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia. The main fight that they used to talk about was the one he had with Mikey Garcia when it's a heavy fan base presence in Texas. But they always wanted to use Errol. They ain't using that shit no more. They're not using it no more. Well, who's going to take the credit for the Crawford Spence numbers? Is Crawford take it or Spence takes it? No, neither one of them going to take it. They're going to be in tandem. They're gonna be as a pair of fighters who went in there and fought and brought it. But when it comes to Gervonta and Ryan Garcia, well, Ryan Garcia wasn't on the platform like that. Gervonta was, so they're gonna give him the edge. They're gonna say, okay, Gervonta brought the numbers along with Ryan Garcia's social media, but there's no way for us to actually compute those numbers and say how many social media followers, which are supposed to be of a young age group over from social media, blended in on that fight with Gervonta Davis to for them to come in with those numbers. And do we know if those numbers are accurate? That's all I'm saying. That's all the brother's saying, dog. BIG on deck, man. I'm seeing you in a minute. Appreciate you pulling up on this Monday. What's good with it? We'll find out December 9th with that pay-per-view numbers. Yeah, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out for sure. Shout out to Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, some more. The OG in the building. What's good with it, Bruce? Also, the way Devin was talking, he might need to really make a statement if he wants to be respected the way he feels he deserves. I look at it like when a fighter say what they deserve. Devin went over there twice. I'm not erasing the criticism from his previous, you know, his resume up to this point, but nor am I going to continue to hype on it as if he hasn't really made any changes to his box rec, his boxing ledger. He has. His portfolio is different now. He was an undisputed world champion. Shakur Stevens about to fight for the WBC coming up, and he did what he had to do. He fought for it and he defended it twice. The rest is what it is. You can't keep bringing in Jojo Diaz. You can't keep on bringing Alfredo Santiago, Yurkis Gamboa. You know what I'm saying? Jorge Linares. You can't continue to bring those. We're talking about Boots Ennis. We're talking about Devin Haney. Both of them at one point in time had high numbers on their boxing rec, but nobody to account for, okay, where do we put them with the best? Well, we don't know because they haven't really fought nobody. They got a big name, but we don't know. Now there's separation because Jerron Ennis is looking to do what Devin Haney has been able to do just to get the chip. Not only get the chip, but get more chips and defend the chips or whatever. Devin, you know, he has the numbers now. He has the championship and he defended his title twice. That's all. Unfortunately for him, he just has another rat that's freaking supporting him heavy, and he's the freaking skid mark 2.3.4.0. You know what I'm saying? Also, the way and another thing Carlos said about making a statement. I don't know what statement he needs to make because Regis Progress has already lost to Josh Taylor, right? And he's faced some controversy as of late. I don't know what statement Devin has to make. The only statement that's mandatory, is for him to go in there and get the strap. I don't know what other statement he needs to get. Like, he can go in there and look half-assed and still pick up the belt. He's a two-weight world champion. His stock goes up even more from there. If he goes in there and dominates Regis Progress, he's still picking up the belt. He goes in there and stop him, he's still picking up the belt. The biggest question is, what does he do after that, though? You have three other divisions, three other sanctioning bodies, the WBA, IBF, and the WBO. What's next? Are we going to work toward another unification? Are we going to work towards a Devin Haney, or are we going to see Richards and Hitchens? People are hyping up Richards and Hitchens now to be a potential opponent for Devin Haney. Would that be a good fight? I believe so. I believe so. But once again, here we go. We're talking about what they used to say about Haney being boring, right? Now we have Hitchens. He has a standout fight with John Bowser, but I don't know what else happened, bro. I don't know why this dude just goes in there and just moves around and 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 moves. I'm like, God damn, somebody fix the record. He has to be a fan. Man, he has to start catering to the fans. Man, I mean, he has a skill set, but he's where Devin used to be. I'm just saying, like, do people want to see Richards and Hitchens? And then you got Gary Antoine Russell is still there. We can't exclude him. He's still at 140. You know what I'm saying? The division is hot. You got T.H.E over there. You got a lot of shit popping, bro. We got a lot of shit popping in 140. Devin has earned my respect. Nobody else wanted to take a chance. I wish he would have took a tune up to adjust to the weight, then fought for a title. I might be wrong, but anything can happen. Yeah, there's a little bit more respect that Devin earned based off his mediocre resume. You know what I'm saying? He had a mediocre resume, in my opinion, prior to stepping in there with George Kambosos. I just believe that the back and forth schoolyard trash talking that happened back and forth between him and T.H.E, and he didn't get nothing out of it, is just a waste of life. You know what I'm saying? Real life and boxing life. It got you nothing. And then, the way that you was able to get your opportunity, you seized the moment. Devin seized the moment. He got it done twice in Australia. So the fact he got that shit done, nobody can sit up here and downplay, dismiss that shit wasn't worthy. It was worthy. Kambosos beat T.H.E. You know what I'm saying? T.H.E beat Lomachenko. What carried in those wins was belts. The hardware transferred hands from Lomachenko to T.H.E, the T.H.E to Kambosos, the Kambosos to Devin Haney. Devin Haney beat him in his backyard and defended him, and came back over here and defended him. A lot of that shit is windshield wipers now. You can't keep throwing mud on the motherfucker when he won the titles and defended the titles. Now it gets to a point on how he's gonna look with Regis. He's looking very snack applicable. You know what I'm saying? Per the sports nutritional program that he's on. I'm just hoping, when it comes down to his strength and conditioning, they're able to properly apply that size gain to his cardio, his strength and conditioning. I hope that's the way it works, man. But the promo for this fight is just super, super diggity whack. Diggity whack, in my opinion. It's just whack. It just needs more to it. I don't know, man. Devin's trying to do more with his personality, but his personality sucks, man. For him to sell fights, he just need the right. You imagine Devin and Tank? Man, they underestimate how easy Tank make this shit look. Tank don't say a lot of words, but when he do speak, or when he do let his actions do the talking, he make that shit count. But this Progress and Haney's freaking lead up, it's super whack to me, man. It's not whacker than Charlo and Canelo, because we was talking about Canelo. Canelo has his own personality. He has mastered the English one shot quitter hitters counter punches. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't know what animal I have to be. I mean, come on, that's a classic, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got Charlo. Oh, lies only. Oh, I don't know what animal I have to be. To that shit was hilarious, man. You know, Canelo has mastered the art of knowing English and faking and performing as if he don't know English. So it's easy for him to listen and then come back with something that the fan base or the listener wasn't expecting. And coming from Canelo, you know, speaking Espanol to his people most of the time, it always generates laughter when he does speak English, and it's in response to a serious, you know, person like Jamel Charlo always being serious and shit. I'm a line. You know what I'm saying? I'm a line. I mean, it's just the weakest. Look, Jamel Charlo went from being in one of the most hypest freaking press conference with Tony Harrison to being one of the weakest. He's the only boxer in the sport to have one of the most lit pressers with Tony Harrison to one of the most weakest. Point blank, period. I put it out there. One of the weakest and one of the strongest. He's the only boxer to have that on his freaking resume. To have one of the strongest and one of the weakest freaking pressers ever in boxing. Haynes Legacy, what's good with it, brother? Salute to you and the fam, man. What's good with on this Monday? I got a 60-40 Devin, but Devin has to move and keep Regis at the end of his jab. Stay in the center of the ring. Don't allow Regis to square him up. And stay off the ropes. I'm hyped for this fight. For sure. That's what's up, man. I mean, I agree with the jab. Of course, when it comes to Devin and the jab, you know, his jab is a very punctual force to be reckoned with any fighter. People have to respect technique. You can't just not respect it because Devin gets through and he's more accurate than most. You can't just not respect the shit. You know, that's what a lot of people do. Oh my God, he's back to the jab. Oh my God. No, not the jab. I mean, the jab is one of the premier fundamentals that they teach in boxing, right? Isn't that what you go back to once you recess, stick the jab? That is it, right? So when you're talking about somebody remediating the jab over and over again, or showing you a part of the jab that you ain't seen, like we seen with Crawford, people say, oh, I admire that. Look at that jab. It's just, you know, that's what we praise Spence for having a very punctual jab. But I guess with Devin, when he does it, it's much more linear. He lines it up pretty much consistent, and people frown upon it because, you know, his mindset to me when I watch him land his jab is that if you ain't trying to break it, if you ain't trying to switch it up and disrupt his rhythm, his jab rhythm, he's going to keep on doing it. He's going to keep on hitting your ass with the jab, bro. It's up to you to do something about it. It don't matter what's good with it, bro. Salute to you. I see you on deck. Tank is a boxing rock star. He shows up to the events hours late and stops his opponent's fight night. You know what I'm saying? Shaw News, man. Hey, Tank is different, man. You know, Tank is different. He knows how to perform. Tank always get people riled up. Even the commission and the people know that if Tank is fighting, something's about to pop off. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can have that it factor. You know what I'm saying? That shock value. Not everybody can do what Tank is doing, bro, when it comes to promoting a fight. When have you seen Tank? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying there's certain shit that you don't see even coming out his team. that you see with other PBC fighters or Showtime, whatever. You just don't see it when it comes to Tank. Even the All Access, you see what you see from him. The last time he was out in the street riding bikes with his people and shit like that through the streets. I mean, he do stuff different. You don't see his coach Calvin Ford, Kenny Ellis running up the block. Yeah, hey, Calvin, hey, what do you say? Give a breakdown. Well, how far we running? This 2 miles. This 2 miles. Man, we might need to start turning back around, but just give him a little bit of insight as to prediction that you think. Oh man, I ain't doing that, man. I'm trying to focus on my breathing. You don't see Calvin and Kenny out there running and running up the street and shit when Gervonta is the motherfucking fighter, dog. You don't see Calvin and Kenny always trying to be in the frame, dog. I mean, come on, man. Everybody's shit is different. Even though Gervonta don't say as much, he still got a personality. That's all I'm saying. He still got a personality. That's good, man. Days off on a Monday is good. Get your shit right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Said Lennox Lewis beat Mike with the jab. Yeah, Mike had an underrated jab. Seriously. With that head movement, he definitely had an underrated jab. And then, that high guard was very consistent until, certain other boxers that had better all-around boxing skills than Tyson started to figure it out with angles. You know what I'm saying? Movement. But what's going on, Jason? Salute. I'm ready to see Devin in the fight without being drained. I believe Regis knows he's not fighting the same fighter that was fighting 135. Devin is a big dude at 140. I mean, he looks real big. But we have to understand he's had to drop weight. You know what I'm saying? He has to drop weight. So with anything, bodybuilders put on muscle in between time. It looks like fat, but they're putting on muscle and fat protein too in between competitions. And then they chisel that up by reducing their carbs, reducing probably, certain types of vegetables, reducing the quantity. Everything is measured. So if he's able to get that dialed in, Devin, and he's still training hard and he's sustaining his strength, he feels good in his recovery, then man, it's gonna be interesting in there. I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be interesting because Regis, he just his size, his physical package is what it is. You know what I'm saying? His physical package is what it is. His entire skeletal structure, it hasn't changed in a long time. And that doesn't mean he can't be strong. You know what I'm saying? We talk about this with Crawford. Yeah, Crawford may have come out with some pictures and he was ripped to shreds, but when you see Crawford in person, his frame doesn't give you the bulky side of the house, right? But what we're seeing with Devin is looking big in clothes. He's looking big in clothes. He looked big when he stepped in the ring with Lomachenko. He's looking big in clothes. And then you're seeing him on the mist. I'm like, God damn, him and Demetrius Andrade, they basically putting on some size, man. But we have to see how that translates over when it comes fight night with the game plan that Regis have. It's definitely going to be interesting. I'm not going to lie to y'all. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I also want to speak on what is the video that Roller Romero has out there where he says that Terrence Crawford is not that special. Roller Romero is going off him picking up 2 world titles, a WBA interim at 135 pounds, and then the nicely wrapped 140-pound present that was presented to him as a housewarming gift when Tony Weeks stepped in and prohibited Rolly's grandpa from continuing to put that beat down on his ass. So he was up here saying, 2 weight division champion. Okay, cool. But one thing I noticed about Rolly is that he does have all this criticism for black fighters all the time. He always calling them ugly. If I wasn't called Rolly retarded all the time, people take offense and saying, I'm being, casually, I'm being insensitive. But Rolly has called so many black fighters ugly all the time. This is what he does. And he say, for him, speaking on Crawford, he said he's not that good of a fighter. And then he makes it seem like that when they told him he want to move up and fight Canelo, he said if he move up and fight Canelo, he'll never box again after that fight. And I've really never known Rolly to be right about a lot of shit, especially when it comes to his profession, because he said he was going to stop Gervonta in the first round. It was cap. It was all that. And, he came out, he was very cautious, I'm saying, tiptoeing, very reserved, in that first fight, that first round with Gervonta, and then we seen what happened. But I don't know what's going on with Rolly, why he can't give certain black fighters their credit. If you're all about your people, cool. But now if you're gonna be about your people, at least you yourself have to take accountability for what you haven't been able to accomplish. Like you're walking through here and you all about trying to say it's about the respect of the people. It's all about they can see who I am. People love talking to Rolly because he say dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? You have a black fighter going around here saying some dumb shit like that. It's going to be other people just complaining, but they love to laugh at Rolly. They love to laugh at Rolly about this shit. And that's all it is a freaking laughable moment. And we still have a situation that's coming up with Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. And, it's picking up some steam. You feel me? This Tyson Fury fight, he's been on record as saying he's the hardest hitting heavyweight in boxing because he knocked out Deontay Wilder. But I still look at who knocked you out first. Deontay Wilder knocked out Tyson Fury first. And Jack Reese, through the spirit of the sport, brought him back to life. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no freaking visual defibrillators that was right there where Jack Reese was working on his CPR that he learned as a ref. But I'm just saying he knocked you out, Tyson Fury, first on your back. Yeah, you end up getting him on the trilogy, but he knocked you out first. So if you're going to say that you did this, that, and the other, I'll tell you to your face, no. He knocked you out first, bro. So you can't say that you're the hardest hitting, puncher when Deontay in your first fight knocked you out. He knocked you out. Point blank, period. Now, for Francis Ngannou training with Mike Tyson, only in this short window, it's not enough for him to go in there and have a competitive fight with Tyson Fury, unless Tyson Fury carries him. Unless Tyson Fury carries him. And I see Tyson Fury being carried just like Conor McGregor was carried by Floyd. It was sloppy. You know what I'm saying? It was sloppy. It was obviously, that the boxer was just, up here catering to the crowd, moving around the ring, making it seem as real as it possibly can. Floyd wasn't really scared that Conor was going to hit him with anything serious, just like Tyson Fury. And Ngannou has to understand that the punches that you was throwing with the 4-ounce gloves are definitely going to land different than the gloves you have on when you face Fury. They're going to land different, bro. You have much more padding in those gloves, and you're going in there with a boxer who's been hit by the hardest puncher in boxing, and he's gotten up to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? He's gotten up to talk about it. So you're going off the fact that you was able to register the velocity of your punches, but yet and still you have to basically now get some credibility over here in the boxing ring with heavier gloves on. That power that you had, that they say you was the hardest hitter in combat sports, that has to somehow correlate over to you being in the 4-corner square and not the cage and fighting Tyson Fury, who is every bit of like 285, 290, 300, depending on where you at. It's good that you get the opportunity to step in there with Tyson, but I think it's going to be a TKO stoppage. Because like I said before, he's still signed with PFL. So in order for PFL to keep their stock up on Francis Ngannou, he can't go in here and get flatline, y'all. He can't go in here and get flatline. He just can't. And then getting stopped on your feet has way more preservation to it than getting flatline KO'd. And people just say, I don't know about that. When he go with the PFL, people still remember him from getting flatlined by Fury. It's not going to be a Deontay Wilder moment unless it just comes out of nowhere. I'm serious. And to be honest, I don't think Tyson Fury is going to be putting a lot of mustard on there once the fight start to get, into those late, early to middle rounds, and Francis start to find out he got 2 cinder blocks, hanging from his left and right hand, and them gloves are heavy with all that muscle that he got. Hey, he'll find out. He'll find out. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. He'll find out. Let me touch back on one of the points. I was talking to somebody else about this, but how Tyson Fury said he wants 10 more fights after Ngannou. 10, y'all. 10. So I'm saying to myself, I say 10 more fights. Is it 10 more fights that they can put Tyson Fury in there with that's worthy of a look, or he don't care at this point? I mean, was he sober when he said this? Was he just coming off a binge? Who's out there for us to want to see? What upcoming heavyweights? The heavyweight division is damn near on the brink of going back into depression again. After Deontay Wilder left, I'm like, I know he's been back, but we waiting for him to come back to the scene of the crime, dog. And we don't know how's that gonna work. Dubois was just, defeated by a controversial start with Usyk. We have no idea what Anthony Joshua is doing. Philippe Herkovic is out there. Dillian White, man, he's gonna be who he is. Derek Chisora, I really don't want to see him fight no more. I want to see the guy live a healthy life. I don't want him going around here and having pugilistic and put hands on somebody and wind up in prison. I don't know, man. 10 fights is a long stretch to say that people want to see that. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm not putting it out there that he can't do it, but do we really want to see him do it? I really want to see a rivalry. Where's the rivalries in the heavyweight division? Who's next? Well, how can we get a rivalry? It seems like Usyk over there, he ain't trying to get a rivalry with nothing. Like, yeah, he fought Joshua twice, but look at Joshua. Joshua has been like fucked up ever since that rematch he lost, and he can't stay in one place, bro. And it's not like he's fighting the best top tier competition. Robert Helenius and Jermaine Franklin is not the creme de la creme, bro. It's not. I don't care what anyone say. Fury's a cheater in more ways. Yeah, he's a cheater, no doubt. Never can say he wasn't a cheater, because he is a cheater. But he was not accused or found to have cheated in his recent achievements in the past several years. That's all I'm saying. Roll his chest. He sounded punch drunk, trying to diminish Bud. It took him like 5 minutes to get the sins off. But they sit up there and hype him up like that's what he needs. That's what you do to kids like Rolly. You know what I'm saying? They do goofy ass shit, and people sit there with goofy ass treats. Oh, let me toss this Tootsie Roll out. Oh, there go a sucker for you. Yeah. Give him a annihilator. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Yeah. Keep on. You got another joke for us, Rolly? Come on, get out of here. Are y'all older than him? Y'all his boys or what? Though says, I be trolling, but if that Francis knocking Tyson out first round, my guy gonna blow his load. You can blow your load with Tyson Fury all you want without realizing that Deontay has knocked this man down several times and he couldn't keep him down. So how is Francis Ngannou gonna land the perfect shot? How is he gonna land a shot with form and timing? You know what I'm saying? How's his time is gonna be perfected? How's his appointment gonna work out for him? Can he make the shit happen accordingly? Can he land a shot with the perfect timing to close the lights out with Tyson Fury? Can he be the guy who do it? Because Tyson's been on the ground other than Deontay Wilder now. But no one's been able to flatline him except Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's the only man that flatlined Tyson Fury. Tyson's head was resting comfortably on the canvas, and his mind and spirit and soul was in the upper room. It took Jack Reese and his harmonica and his goddamn poking him with a motherfucking sewing pin. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. 3, 4. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. For the spirit of the sport, Tyson. Spirit of the sport. 5. 6. Oh, that Jack Reese count was glorious, wasn't it? That shit was glorious, wasn't it? Yeah, he got his money, but if you're still a big name in boxing, big enough for people to say that we want to see you fight, at least grab an opponent that, you know what I'm saying, grab an opponent that we can say, okay, yeah. I mean, we actually thought Anthony Joshua was going to be facing Deontay Wilder at the end of the year. Wasn't that the bullshit that was put out there? We thought that was going to be the fight. And then he knocks out Robert Helenius, and it's like nothing else comes up. Now he's supposed to be fighting a whole different opponent. I mean, what happened with that shit, bro? Francis coming to fight, not box. Hey, you can come in there and fight Tyson Fury all you want. Like Tyson Fury ain't been in a fight before. And you know, if Francis want to go in there and dump his load and try to fight Tyson Fury with those big ass gloves on, doing all that winging dinging shit, come on, bro. See, the difference between Francis Ngannou is used to throwing combination with kicks, punch combos with kicks, dress it up however you feel like. But the only thing you can dress up with this is your angles, your timing, speed. It's a difference. You're not really dressing it up with entire shifts and elevation changes when it comes to mixed martial arts. You're leveling, changing, you're clenching. You can throw elbows along with fists. You can throw knees. You can go down to the calf, thigh, all that shit. You have so many other areas that you can attack. But when you're focused, you're forced to focus on the belt line up. All that fighting shit and winging and dinging. Good luck with that, big dog. Good luck with that. Good luck with that, man. I ain't gonna lie. Good luck with that. If Big Baby gets his head together by the 8th Fury fight, I would like to see that. If Big Baby gets his head together by that 8th Fury fight. So you trying to say Jarrell Miller have to wait till the 8th Fury fights to get his head together, brother? What? You gonna give Jarrell Miller that much time to be outside of a big fight? He might have popped dirty and be out the sport by then. He might be banned for. You asking a lot. Fury can fight Zhang. That would be a good one. Yeah, that's if they look. I don't disagree with you, fan talk, but have you even heard those talks? Dude went in here and smashed on Joe Joyce, right? Again. And no one's talking about Zhang Fury. Nobody's even talking about Zhang Fury, man. What's next for Zhang, man? What is he supposed to do? What is he supposed to do, man? Nobody's talking about Zhang Fury, man. What is he supposed to do? Who's next? Does he believe he's ready for Fury? That's the bigger question. Does Zhang believe he's ready for Fury? I mean, people looking at Oleksandr Usyk is still out there. Are they gonna start talking about Zhang? You know, they was bragging about him stopping Joyce again. The heavyweight division, man, is it's embroiled in mystery right now, inconsistency, absence. I mean, they have this dormant type. Um, they have this dormant type little space, this window that's going on right now. This moment in time that it's not hyped up anymore. Like it's been shit since Deontay lost the trilogy, but it hasn't really been those ultimates, entertaining fights that we want to look for in the heavyweight division, bro. Shout out to Toby, Mr. International Bartlett. What's good? Salute WCS in the chat. We're global, baby. We're global. WCS has the hottest grease and the hottest chat on the YTC. Appreciate you, man. Always pulling up, man, from across the pond. You know what I'm saying? To the local pond, goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you, Toby, on deck once again on this Monday. I know it's like, goddamn, let me see. I don't know what time it is. I know it's early in the AM over there, though. Man, I thought Joshua would have been him on Eddie, all about the Benjamins. Man, Joshua has just been a disappointment, bro. After losing that second fight, though, the Usyk. I mean, Jared Anderson. Okay, all right, Jared Anderson. I got you. My mind wasn't even there. Jared Anderson. Yeah, Jared Anderson's on the come up. Is he ready? Is he ready for a Tyson Fury fight? Yeah, you might be right. His 8th fight. Yeah, I agree. His 8th fight. Yeah. I mean, if his mind is there mentally, he's shown to be somewhat in a guy who's not very comfortable where he's at right now. Like, yeah, he's going in here and competing in professional boxing, but it seems like that there may be limitations on how far he's willing to go as a professional fighter. And he's not just any professional fighter. He is a top name that people look at and hear now. But will we have an Oliver McCall moment with Jared Anderson? I don't know. I know it's two different scenarios, right? Being that Oliver McCall had a lot of personal shit in it, but yet it still was mental. The shit still was mental, bro. The shit still was mental. W says, my sources told me Diddy James said, you corrupted AJ. Hey, man, if Diddy James understood that I was only speaking my opinion about the fighters that should have since left that area as quick as possible, then so be it. I told AJ, I said, AJ, get far away from that and grab EJ. AJ, you got 2 J's in the picture now. Just do it. EJ, AJ, goddamn, take them J's up out that motherfucker now. Goddamn, take him, put him in the headlock, take him somewhere far, far across the pond, man. You know what I'm saying? And Spence ain't gonna like it at first, but go back on him, Joshua. Let him know. Say, hey, listen, Mike. You say you didn't speak to him for 2 years. Do you think you made that up? You're mad. You know what I mean? You're never gonna make the 2 years up. It's about time. You see the performance. Frank Martin, shits. Bullock's rubbish. Look at Spence. Look at you. Come on now, EJ. Crawford just pretty much obliterated you. Tore you to pieces. You got to come over here. Yeah, let me help you out, my friend. Joshua have to take Spence far away, man. Take the J's out of it. AJ, EJ, leave. Let him stay there with Frank Martin because Frank need a little bit of and I think that Frank, that furniture polish and the fumes that's always in the air when them fighters crack that damn garage door open. I mean, hey, I think the only person that may look to benefit from that is Frank Martin. I'll be surprised if Ryan Garcia returned back to the world-class furniture store. I'd be surprised. After leaving Floyd to go back over there, I'll be surprised, bro. But Ryan got that money though. Ryan got that money though. Ryan got that money. Shout out to Jessica. How you feeling this week? May all is well your way on this Monday. Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Haynes. But I should be back on later, people. You know, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game, A Side official. Always, constantly, you know, looking for certain things to basically wrap our mind around at the end of the year. This is the toughest part. Boxing is an annual sport, but you always know when it gets into the end of the year, it's just like you're waiting for these big fights. You know what I'm saying? I know last year was Crawford over at BLK Prime. And now we have, you know, some decent fights that's taken, but no sparkers, you know what I'm saying? No head knockers. You know what I'm saying? No fireworks, no pyros, no freaking nuclear type expectations. You know what I'm saying? No rocket launches. We're looking at fights that enter the division. Do we have any fights that's in the division that we're saying, okay, how does it shake things up? How does it shake things up? Do we have a fight that's popping off at the end of the year that's going to really shake things up? Is it? Is Demetrius Andrade and David Benavidez? Hey, it's going to shake a little bit. It's going to shake what it shake. Seriously, but is it shaking something up? You know, because David Benavidez, he doesn't have the title at super middleweight. So this is one of those fights is for supremacy. You know, Demetrius Andrade has been on record lately as saying that David Benavidez is the top super middleweight, not Canelo Alvarez. He's probably laying that claim because Canelo going in there and looking the way he did against Mel Charlo, not getting him up out of there, throwing some bullshit ass punches, and Charlo was able to pivot out, reset. Man, get the fuck out of here. You don't miss like that, Canelo. You go to the body first. You was over here trying to land a hook shot when Mel was up against the ropes, knowing that he can see that shit from way back in the parking lot. So that was some bullshit right there. But man, y'all hold it down. Be easy. Salute to everyone who pulled up. We should do it again next time. I'm out here.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back. Sports talking way too much, world come back. Sports talking way too much, world come back.
Hey, what you got to say there, champ? Yeah, man. What's up, Black? Hey, Deontay, what you got to say? What you got to say? To this day! To this day! To this day!